Last year, one of my biggest goals was to get stronger and more fit and actually make exercise a priority in my life. And after years of struggling, I finally did it, and in a way that actually feels good. And through this process, there's a ton of things that I learned along the way. So if this is the year you finally want to get in shape, then keep on watching because I'm going to share 13 fitness tips that changed my life and my body. Hey friend, welcome back. If you're new here, my name's Jillz and I help women step into their power, tap into their divine feminine, and become their best self, live their dream life. So if that's something you want to do, you should subscribe and stick around. Now, the first thing I've learned when it comes to fitness, but you can apply this to literally any important habit, is that it's way easier to build an everyday habit than an every so often habit. Because here's the thing, when something is just part-time, it doesn't really stick, because it doesn't really become a part of your identity. And a part-time habit of going for a run 2 days a week doesn't solidify in your brain the same way as like brushing your teeth every day does, right? It's just not as automatic. And it was this constant game of, is today the day I'm gonna work out? Or if I worked out 3 days a week, then those other 4 days, I would start to lose my momentum. And I feel like my identity would sort of go back and forth between this new self that I was trying to create that was fit and healthy, and my old self that wasn't, that didn't exercise at all. Daily habits are simpler and easier for your brain to manage, and it just becomes a part of your everyday routine, no overthinking required. So a game changer for me is that I turned my fitness habit into a daily habit, not just a 2 times a week, 3 times a week type of habit. However, I'm not saying that I actually worked out 7 days a week, so let me explain. I still only worked out like a real workout 3 or 4 times a week. But then the other days that week, I still did something to check off that sort of daily fitness habit. Sometimes it was a walk around my neighborhood. Sometimes it was just stretching in front of the TV while I watched a show. But I started doing something, just something, to keep that momentum going. And so I could turn that every so often habit into a daily habit, because once it becomes a daily habit, that is when it really sticks. That is when that identity piece starts to stick, and it just becomes a natural and easy part of your day, just like brushing your teeth. Now, James Clear says something really important about habit building in his book, Atomic Habits. Never miss twice. He says, the first mistake is never the one that ruins you. It is the spiral of repeated mistakes that follows. Missing once is an accident. Missing twice is the start of a new habit. And this is why daily fitness is easier than every so often fitness, because every day that you do nothing, you're building a new habit of doing nothing. So you have to switch your perspective and see this as a daily fitness goal, even on the days where you intentionally don't want to do anything because nobody wants to work out 7 times a week, and that's not even really healthy. And rest and recovery is really important too. But even those days where you're just taking an Epsom salt bath to soak your sore muscles, that is you checking off the fitness habit. Every day that you go to work out at the gym, that is you checking off the fitness habit. Every day that you take a long walk around your neighborhood, that is you checking off the fitness habit. It doesn't always have to look like this specific hard workout that you did. Instead, it's just doing something, just something to support you on this journey. So maybe for you, you'll go to the gym 3 times a week to get a good solid workout in, and then 3 times a week going for a good long walk in nature, and then 1 time a week just sitting on your mat in front of the TV and doing some stretches and some gentle yoga, or however you want to do it. But this will reinforce your new identity of a fit person and keep that momentum going. So focus on a daily fitness habit, even if it's small, and don't focus on perfection. And if you miss a day, that's human, it'll happen, but make sure you show up the next day, or else you'll be building a new habit towards skipping. The next fitness lesson I learned. Now, we all have off days sometimes, or days where we just wake up and aren't really feeling that good. And I was always a little unsure about whether I should push through on those days or skip it and allow myself rest. But here's the rule that I follow that's helped me immensely. If you physically don't feel good, then rest. If you mentally don't feel good, then that's the time when you need to push through. If I wake up and feel sick, like actually ill, then forcing myself to work out is not being loving and supportive toward my body. It's gonna make me feel worse. Now, I might still show up for something, maybe if I have the energy and vitality, I'll go for a short 10-minute walk outside, or maybe I'll just do like some gentle stretching on the mat or something. But I don't force myself to do a full workout. But if I wake up and feel mentally off, that's when pushing through is almost always the right option. This is where discipline comes into play and being able to follow through and do what's best for you, even if in the moment you don't really want to. Now, number 3, here's something that completely shifted the way that I think about exercise. Your workout isn't just about moving your body. It's not just about health. It's about shaping how you want to show up in life. Okay, let me explain. Think about how you want to feel. Not just with fitness, but with life. What kind of energy do you want to start embodying? Do you want to feel strong and unstoppable? Then start lifting weights. Do you want to feel graceful and balanced and poised? Then try Pilates or barre. Do you crave mental clarity or to feel free? Then try going for a run or taking a long walk outside. Do you want to feel more centered, more present, more calm, more patient? Then try yoga. Do you want to feel expressive and playful and feminine and creative? Then try dance. So here's the tip. Find a workout that mirrors how you want to live and how you want to feel. The way you move can teach you qualities you want to embody. It's not just about building muscle or hitting a particular fitness goal or hitting a particular goal weight. It's about practicing the energy that you want to bring into your day. Whether it's strength or calm or focus or presence, your workouts can help you cultivate and activate those traits. So ask yourself, how do I want to feel and who do I want to become? And then pick a workout that helps you step into that. Now, next, it's important to keep in mind in your fitness journey that it is okay to be bad. Especially the first time you do something, it's expected really. The first time you go to yoga, it's gonna feel awkward. The first time you start lifting weights or go for a run, it's gonna feel hard and like you're out of your element. The first time you go to a reformer Pilates class, you're gonna be like, how the heck do I use this machine? Even if you've been working out for years, the first time that you try like this new type of movement, you're gonna feel a little awkward at it. Fitness is about challenging yourself in order to grow. And that growth comes from doing something and not being perfect at it, but then showing up anyways, and then continuing to show up again and again. So this is especially for my perfectionist girlies. It is okay to be bad at your workouts. It's okay to be a beginner. It's okay if it feels a little weird. It's okay if you're the worst one in the class. That awkward, uncomfortable phase is where growth happens. But here's the thing, this isn't just about fitness, this is also how life works. Whenever you start something new in life, you start out by being bad. And no one likes being bad at something, but you have to embrace being bad before you can be an expert. Whether you're starting an entirely new job, or you want to learn a new language, or maybe you want to start making YouTube videos, it doesn't matter. You're going to be a beginner, and that means you have to embrace being bad so that you can eventually get good. If you never do anything new in life because you're afraid of being bad, well, that's not gonna get you very far in life. Next thing when it comes to your fitness and workout goals is to have a plan, okay? Don't just fly by the seat of your pants and try to figure it all out in the moment, try to figure out how to achieve your goals all in the moment. Having a plan is the key to consistency and progress, and having a plan is how you turn your goals into reality. For so long, I would just be like, yeah, I'll work out a few times this week, but did I have a plan? No. Did I know what days I was gonna work out on? No. Did I know what type of workouts I was gonna do? No. Did I know what muscle groups I was gonna work on? No. I honestly just didn't even really know what to do. And yeah, I didn't get very far following that approach, but finally having a legit plan for myself has been a game changer for me. So I've actually been working out with a virtual personal trainer through an app called Trainwell, who is kindly sponsoring today's video, but just being so for real with you guys, I have been using them consistently for like 7 to 8 months now, and I have honestly seen such a difference in my fitness journey, and I can't wait to talk about them. So basically with Trainwell, you get your own actual personal trainer, like a real person. My trainer's name is Jill, and she's amazing, and she creates workouts for me to follow. She creates the plan, what days I'm doing it on, what type of workouts I'm doing, how long they are, you know, all the exercises, all the stretches, all of that, just like a normal personal trainer would. And then all I have to do is follow it. She creates the plan, and then all I have to do is execute, and it just makes it so easy. And everything is customized and tailored specifically to you and your goals, or like if you have any injuries or anything, or if there are certain workouts that you love to do and certain workouts that you don't, or like, you know, what does your schedule look like? What kind of equipment do you have access to? All of that. Are you working out at a gym or are you working out at home? It's all tailored to you. I personally like to work out at home the majority of the time, like 80% of the time. So I told her basically the equipment that I have at home, like the weights that I have, the type of resistance bands plans I have, and then she'll create a workout for me to do based around that. So she makes it so my workouts are really convenient to do. I don't even have to leave the house if I don't want to, and it's not a one-size-fits-all approach. So let's go back to the beginning. When I first started with Trainwell, I had an initial meeting with my trainer, Jill, and we just kind of talked about like my goals and all of that and where I was at fitness-wise. I let her know what my schedule normally looks like for the week, and then we decided on a plan together. And we actually just recently met up again to refresh and just make sure we're aligned on goals going forward into the new year. So she made a schedule for me that easily fits into my life, and following her plan, I've seen so much growth in my fitness journey. So here's what I've been doing specifically and what has gotten me results. So she creates my workouts, like I said, and they're all set up in the Trainwell app. And what we've decided on is 3 to 4 times a week of like real workouts. And then the other days of the week, I'll do something more mellow and restorative on my own, like go for a walk with my dog or stretch, or if I'm feeling extra energized, maybe I'll go to a dance class with a friend or something. But with her guidance, it's just made it so easy to accomplish my goals because it's convenient, it's customized, it's actually doable for me. And because of that, I actually do it. And so I actually make progress. So yes, this is sponsored, but I truly have gotten so much out of working with Trainwell and my trainer, Jill. And like I said, I've been using this for a while and I have no plans to stop. I'm finally consistent with my workouts. I have not missed one workout since starting with them, which is huge. Out of that whole time, there was like 1 week actually where I was sick with a cold, but what my trainer Jill did is that she switched my workouts. So instead of them being like a real workout, which I couldn't do when I was sick, she made it so it was just like 10-minute stretches on the mat, just like an ability to connect with my body and like be more centered. And that made it so I was able to like check off my fitness goal and my habit and keep going with like that momentum. And so I could still feel like accomplished. And I really appreciated that because in the app, it actually keeps track of your workout streaks, which is like my favorite little part of the app. So for me, I always want to keep that going. I do not want that thing to start over at 0 because I've been building that up for so long. But besides that, I'm very clearly getting stronger. I've been able to up the weights that I've been using. I've been able to do more reps of certain exercises. I've been able to do new exercises that I wasn't able to do before. Like the progress is very clear. If fitness is your goal this year, if this is the year that you finally want to get in shape, then I absolutely recommend giving Trainwell a try. You can use this QR code right here or click the link in the description to take a quiz to find your perfect trainer and get 14 days of free training. So there's literally no reason not to try because it's 2 weeks free. And I really hope that you enjoy it as much as I have. Now moving on, fitness tip number 6. When you are accountable to someone else, you are much more likely to show up. That is just the reality. If you decide to do this fitness journey with a friend and make a commitment to your best friend that you are gonna meet her at the gym these days, these times, then you are gonna show up. Or if you say that every weekday after work, you're gonna do a workout with your partner, then you're much more likely to do it. And not only that, but then you also have that community feel and that commonality around a shared goal. And that makes the experience just so much more enjoyable. There's a lot of power in doing it with someone else. Honestly, I know one of the reasons why I've been able to be so much more consistent this year is because I now have someone cheering me on and also holding me accountable, right? Like with my trainer, Jill, if I miss a workout, she's gonna be like, hello, are you all right? What's going on? And there have been so many times where I'm like, oh, I don't feel like doing it, but I'm like, well, I'm going to because it's on my schedule and Jill's gonna see this and I don't want to explain to her that I was just lazy and wanted to scroll on my phone on the couch. So instead, start workout. And she's always cheering me on every single week. And you know what? It makes me feel good. But if you don't want to take this exact approach, if you don't want someone to help hold you accountable, or if you don't have any friends that you can do this with, here's another tip for this. Envision your future self and let her hold you accountable, but become accountable to someone because you are 1,000,000 times more likely to follow through. Now, number 7, walking is very underrated. Even if you do nothing else but just walk a lot, you will be doing so much good for your body and it can really help to get you snatched. I'm usually in the best shape and the leanest when I consistently do my workouts and walk a good amount. If you want to start your fitness journey but you're overwhelmed and it stresses you out, just start walking every day. After a month, you will notice the difference. You will look at yourself in the mirror and you will see a slight difference and you will feel different. You will feel good. One of the reasons why walking is so good for you is because it's low stress. It's easy on your body. It's easy on your nervous system. It's not gonna pump out a bunch of cortisol and mess up your hormones and like make you puffy and all that. Especially if you have a particularly hectic and stressful life, or that's just like the season of life you're in right now. You will honestly probably get so much more benefit out of just taking a nice long walk walk in nature for an hour than going to an hour-long intense boot camp style workout class. Even though walking is slow and it doesn't feel like you're doing that much, it's great cardio. It does help you build some muscle. It's great for your digestion and it's great for your mental health. Do not think it's a waste of time just because you're not drenched in sweat. Walking is supreme. The next very important lesson is that recovery is a sacred part of the fitness process. Recovery is where all the magic happens. This is how you give your body the ability to restore and build back stronger. And if you're always just doing and doing more and more and never giving yourself rest days, your body is gonna suffer. Like no days off, that's not admirable. That's not hardworking. That's not disciplined. That's a little bit foolish. So you have to reframe the way you look at recovery. It's not you just like, doing absolutely nothing. It's you working towards your fitness goals just in a different way. Remember the first point I talked about where having a daily habit is easier than an every so often habit? Well, on those days where you intentionally rest or you intentionally do more mellow type of movements, where you're focused on recovery, that is you working towards your fitness goal. Your focus is just on the recovery part of that process. It's just reframing it so you're able to keep that momentum going instead of seeing it as different. So instead of seeing those more rest days as like you not working towards your goal or you taking those quote days off. It's a part of the fitness process, not separate than the fitness process. So romanticize recovery. Treat it as this beautiful ritual and a beautiful part of the fitness journey. Light some candles while you stretch, use a foam roller while you listen to some soothing music or your favorite podcast, or after an intense workout, take an Epsom salt bath. Recovery is an important part of the cycle that's crucial to your long-term success. So make recovery sacred. Make recovery a beautiful part of your everyday fitness habit. The next thing is that I always struggled with feeling good when working out consistently until I changed this one thing. Until I started syncing my workouts to my cycle. So before I learned about cycle syncing, working out for a few weeks actually started making me feel very ill. Like working out would start making me feel sick if I started doing it consistently. Not extreme, I didn't do it extreme, but even when I didn't, but I still did it consistently, I would get like body aches and headaches, and I would feel like was about to come down with a flu. I'd have really low energy, and whenever I'd work out consistently, I'd start to physically feel worse. And that's obviously not how you're supposed to feel. That is until I started cycle syncing. So I started matching the phase that I was in my cycle to the type of workouts that I was doing. I have a very old video that walks you through how to work out for your cycle. So I'm only gonna just cover the gist of it. But essentially there are certain phases where we naturally have more energy, where we are naturally more stress resilient, because remember, exercise is a stress on the body. And then there are other phases where that same intense cardio workout is not gonna make you feel very good. It'll just spike your cortisol and make you feel like crap. Again, if you want a full breakdown, you can watch that video. It'll be linked down below. Also check out the book In the Flow by Alyssa VT. It's a wonderful book. It's a must read. But in the luteal and menstrual phases, that is when we need to be more gentle with ourselves and do a bit more like slower, low impact workouts. And in the follicular and ovulatory, that's when we can push it a bit more, where we can up the intensity, up the cardio. When I follow this method, I consistently feel good from working out. I no longer get that burnt out, tired, exhausted, achy, crappy feeling. And my trainer actually helps me with this. So if you actually look on my app, you'll see that for all of my workouts, it also says the phase I'm in my cycle. So like menstrual, follicular, etc. And those workouts are designed to support that particular phase that I'm in. So the menstrual workouts she plans for me are usually a bit slower, usually more gentle. They're usually more like yoga or Pilates focused. My follicular workouts are where she starts upping the intensity and where she adds in like weights and cardio and so on. And she knows, because I told her this right before we started working together, that those few days right before my period, that's usually when I'm like the lowest energy and I feel the worst when it comes to like exercise and moving my body. So those workouts that she plans for me are always the most gentle. So my fitness schedule on my Trainwell app is completely customized to my cycle, just based off of like my communication with Jill. And it's made it really easy and convenient to cycle sync my workouts. I don't even really have to think about it. So if you've ever really struggled to be consistent with exercise because it starts to make you feel like worn down, like it used to make me feel, highly recommend trying to start cycle syncing your workouts. Or if exercise has been throwing off your body and your hormones in some way, or maybe if you experience really bad PMS, or if you just want to be more connected to your body overall, cycle syncing your workouts is an incredible hack, and it's one of the most important changes I made. And fitness lesson number 10 is that you really have to see food as your fuel and not something to fear, not something that's gonna ruin all your progress. Your body needs energy to perform, to recover, to get stronger, and good quality food, especially protein, that plays a very important role in that process. So you need to make sure that you're eating enough to support the recovery process and actually benefit from all the hard work that you're doing. And you need to make sure that you're eating enough protein to help with that muscle repair. Start thinking about food differently. Food is there to restore you, to re-energize you, and to help fuel you to have a really good workout. It's meant to accompany you on your fitness goals, not counteract them. It's not calories that you now have to burn off, it's nourishment. Now, my hot take is that I'm not a fan of intermittent fasting for women, especially over the long term. Now, obviously, I am not a medical professional, so take this with a grain of salt, you do you, but most of those studies about how good intermittent fasting is for you are done on men, not women, and our bodies are different. Our bodies are a lot more sensitive to stress, and it could potentially disrupt our hormones, our fertility, our blood sugar, and none of that is good. Again, you do you. You know what's best for your body, but just keep in mind that most of those studies are done on men. Another thing is that, you know that saying, a good body is built in the kitchen? Well, that is quite accurate. And what I mean by that is you can do all the workouts in the world, be super consistent with your exercise, and work really hard. But if you're coming home and just eating junk food every single night, you're probably not gonna see the results that you wanna see. You can't out-train a bad diet. It just doesn't work that way. Stick to high quality foods, simple ingredients, less processed foods, and more home cooking. Aim for high quality protein, and for carbs, stick to something simple like sweet potatoes or jasmine rice. And honestly, learning how to cook is one of the better things that you can do for your body and your health goals. And I just want to mention, if you are interested in using Trainwell, your trainer can actually help you build healthier eating habits as well, if that's something that you feel like you need help with. Next, number 12, pain and growth are different things. Feeling a little bit challenged in your workouts, good, that's growth. A little challenge is healthy. A little sore the next day, that's fine. But feeling broken down and miserable, that's pain. Know the difference and don't glorify suffering in the name of fitness. Challenge yourself, but don't break yourself. And lastly, number 13, just like any other habit, little actions consistently create big results. Your workouts don't need to be an hour long every day to see results. If you can't fit in 40 minutes of exercise, 20 minutes is still great. If you can't even fit in 20 minutes, 7 minutes is still better than nothing. You might think that you aren't doing much with these smaller workout sessions, or if you can't fit in a full 30 minutes, then you might as well just skip it. But built up over time, you are, because it's all compounding. It's like if you put $1 in the bank every day, it seems tiny and irrelevant, but over time, it starts to build up to something substantial. And especially once you add on compound interest, it really starts building up. Fitness is the long game. There are no shortcuts. Keep showing up in the small moments. And going back to my first point, like James Clear said, never miss twice. That is it. I would love to hear any of your fitness tips below in the comments, but if you are serious about your fitness this year, I highly recommend you check out Trainwell. They used to be known as Copilot, by the way, in case you've heard of them before with that name. But Trainwell is an incredibly easy way to get that customization, that flexibility, that accountability in your fitness journey in a really easy, convenient way, but for a fraction of the price of normal personal training. I've personally really enjoyed it. I love my trainer, Jill. You can also switch trainers if you feel like the one you get matched with doesn't work for you, and I really think that you'll love it. So again, you can use this QR code here or the link down below to take a quiz to find your perfect trainer and get 14 days of free training, so don't miss out on that opportunity. Thank you so much for watching and staying until the very end. I will see you in the next one. Bye.